there is a 97% failure rate in commercial real estate in the first 2 years. Why? Because it's very counterintuitive. Why? Because there's not a lot of good education out there. Why? A lot of old brokers tend to teach you old stuff that worked 30 years ago, but doesn't work today. With me, guys? So you're fighting an uphill battle. And for those of you getting started in the industry, it is my personal kind of task, my mission to get you guys up and running in the shortest amount of time possible. Okay. So the 9-step process that we went over today, this is something that I've been teaching for years now. And my goal is to get you guys to take it, put it in place, adopt it, and go. Right. We had one of our students joined us. It was 2 months ago today. He joined us on January 3rd, or two months ago yesterday. Joined us on January 3rd, had 4 listing appointments in his first week, and then had his first commercial listing 1 month to the day. In fact, guys, type a 4 in the chat if you'd like to have 4 commercial listing appointments in your first week. Okay. And in the next 7 days, that's what we're talking about, folks. We're not talking about taking 2 years to figure this out. We're talking about, okay, how about I learn a repeatable strategy? Okay, as long as you are speaking to human beings in the United States, this stuff works, right? We've done it over and over and over and over again. And there's only 2 caveats. Number 1, you got to be willing to put in the time. And number 2, you got to trust the process. All right. In fact, guys, do me a favor, type the word trust in the chat if you're willing to trust a process. Okay. Because we talk about this all the time, right? That doing this same thing over and over again and expecting different results, that's called what, guys? What's that I word? We talk about this all the time because sometimes you just can't hear it enough, okay? Boom. Renee, quick on the draw. Love that. Yes, it's called insanity, guys, okay? Doing the same thing over and over again. But conversely, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting more or less the same results, okay? That's called a system, folks. All right. So if you guys want something that you can pick up the phone on a daily basis, you can speak to people, have confidence in what you're saying, and more importantly, be able to say, I can get a repeatable result when I do this, which means like I can do the same thing over and over again and expect more or less the same results. That's how you build a business, guys. So type a B-I-Z in the chat if you guys want to build your business. All right. That is what we are here for. So without further ado, guys, let me go ahead and pull up the 9-step process. And so that way you guys can dig in, right? Take a screenshot if you want, right? Knowledge is I'm a big proponent, right? Knowledge is the only thing that you can give away, and you're no poorer for doing it. You with me, guys? Okay. So if you can make sure that you guys are hopping in, taking notes today, because it's very, very important what we're going to go over. Okay. So just to do a quick little review, guys, 3 things about 3 things. Okay. The who portion, okay, or sometimes we call it the prepare stage, right, is who to reach out to, what to say, how to get them on their cell phone, and how to close them for a meeting. Okay. Remember this one, guys. I love using analogies because people remember analogies. Okay. This is like going to a mud puddle, right? If you're not going to the right place, it's like going to a mud puddle and wondering why you can't catch any fish. You know what? You could be there with the best rod, the best reel, the best bait, the brand new worm. But if you're putting it in a mud puddle where there are no fish, you're never going to catch anything, and you're going to be very, very hungry. Okay. So to use a fishing analogy, we show you where to go. We show you what rod, what reel. We show you how to hook the worm, okay? And then we have you cast your line out there so you can start hooking your own fish, okay, guys? So that's step 1. That is the most important part, because just remember, everything is like a funnel, folks. The more you put in the top, the more you put it in the bottom. Garbage in, garbage out. So the more quality, okay, that you guys put in, the more quality that comes out the bottom. Have you guys ever, now be honest, okay? I want everybody, okay, pinky swear, everybody, okay? Pinky swear. Have you guys ever reached out to the wrong person over and over and over again, and finally you realize, oh, this is not the right person to be chasing after? Has that ever happened? Type a big capital Y, capital E, capital S in the chat if that's ever happened to you guys. Yeah. Anybody? Let's just there we go. Phase with me. Yeah. Folks, it happens, okay? You can call the wrong person over and over and over and over again, okay, and still not get any business. Have any of you guys ever done that? Okay, it's okay if you have. These things happen. But the point I want you to understand, guys, okay, Samantha's with me, Faye's with me, good. Because the point I want you to realize is it's only when you line up these three things and write them down, folks, okay, the right person with the right message at the right time. Once you do that, okay, and that's done in the prepare stage or the who stage, when you go after the right person, that's when you're able to start getting the ball rolling in the right direction. Okay, cool. So we reached out to the right person with the right message at the right time. Now we got the meeting. So from there, that's when you enter the what stage. In the what stage, okay, we got them on the phone, and in between getting them on the phone and showing up at the meeting, okay, there's some work you got to do. Not the least of which is how to prep for the meeting. Okay, you want to make sure that you are putting your best foot forward. Okay, so that they know who's coming to dinner. Okay, and then also you have to be valuing the property properly. Does anybody remember my $23 bill analogy from last year? Type a 23 in the chat if you remember that analogy from last week. I did a little yeah, there we go. Sam's with me. Cool. Hey, what's up, Sam? Good to see you. So the thing is, guys, all right, if you went to the store and you picked up a $20 bill and asked someone to bring you 20 singles, it would be pretty easy, okay? But you ask them to give you 19 singles for a $20 bill, that too would be pretty easy. The only thing is, if you ask $23 for a $20 bill, you're going to be standing at the register a very, very long time. So you're probably saying, like, what does this have to do with real estate? It's no different than when you are asking just a little bit over what a property is actually worth. Why? Has anyone here ever had a listing that sat and sat and sat and sat? Type of one in the chat if you guys have ever had one of those. Had a listing that just sits and sits and sits and sits. Guess what, folks? Okay. There's a 9 times out of 10, it's the pricing. You know why? Price is the ultimate equalizer, right? You could sell a property next to a nuclear dump for the right price. Okay. So point is, folks, 9 times out of 10, price is the issue. No matter what the seller says, no matter any of the things, the price fixes everything. It's the ultimate equalizer. It can take care of a whole lot of things. So point is, folks, when you get your valuation dialed in, things start popping. Okay. One of my students that came on last year, July 1st, he had 5 listings by the end of September. One of them went under contract within a month. He just closed it back in January. He's got 2 more closing, right? But guess what he's got dialed in, guys? Guess what he's got? Type it in the chat. What do you think he has dialed in? If 3 of his 9 listings, okay, have already gone under contract and 1 is already closed and the other 2 are closing this month. Okay, what do you think it is? Yes, exactly, Renee. Close the system, but he got his valuation dialed in. Okay. So very, very important. Okay. And then finally, once you get all this and you get the listing, okay, that's when you have to the final stage here. This is the how. This is how we turn a stranger into a listing, right? But more importantly, how we turn a listing into dollar bills in our pocket. Commission check. Okay. That's what we're working for, guys. We are not working for free. This is not a charity. You know, I'm pretty sure your local utility company will not just keep your power on just because you're a nice person, right? So we all have to live. We all have to make money. So that is what we're handling today. Okay. The pitch, instead of having a shoot from the hip conversation, a lot of people love to have an organic conversation. You know, I just want to make it feel natural. Well, guess what? You're going to feel broke. Okay. The people that know how to pitch are coming in with a framework. They know what to say. They know, more importantly, why they are saying it so that they can deliver the right message to the right person. And guess what, guys? At the right time. Guys, type why in the chat if that makes sense. Folks, I can give you all the words to say, but you will not be reciting them properly unless you know why you're saying that. Okay, does that make sense? Type a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Because the reality of it is, it's very simple, folks. Okay, once you understand the why of what you're doing, it unlocks absolutely everything else. So what I want you guys to know is, okay, not only do you have to know what to say, you also have to know why you are saying it. Okay, so then from there, folks, this is the most important part of what we're talking about. and it's very, very straightforward. I'm going to give you guys, how many of you guys would like to have a little bit of an insight tonight on how to manage listings that go stale? Type a 1 in the chat for me, okay? And if you're in Facebook, I want you to hit that like button a whole bunch of times. Come on, guys. This isn't enough ones. If you guys are asleep at the keyboard, I'm just going to go ahead and close it down. If you guys are here and you want to learn this business, okay, type a 1 in the chat. I only got 3 ones. Come on. You can do a whole lot better than that. There's 47 people on here. Wake up, guys. Because if you're trying to multitask during this precious 30 minutes that we have together, guys, not going to happen. Okay. All right. Might as well just hit the little red button and go to whatever it is you're doing. All right. There we go. We got some ones. Okay. Now we're talking. Okay, guys. Now I got everybody's attention. Because folks, okay, you can multitask. I'm going to go off on a little tangent. Multitasking does not exist. Okay. You can only do one thing well at a time. And I don't care what anyone says. Men can't multitask, this, that, the other thing. You can do multiple things, but you can only do one thing with ultimate focus. Okay. And focus. It's very, very funny. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett were at a dinner party. Okay. And they had this really interesting conversation and they handed everybody a cue card, a little 3x5 index card. And they said, everybody, I want everyone to write down on the card, okay, what you think the one word that contributes to success more so than anything else around. Just what's the most important word that contributed to your success? Okay, guys, type in the chat. What do you think both Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, they've done a few $1 billion in their life, all right? What do you think that word was? Okay. What do you think that word was? Exactly, Martin. Exactly, Chad. Exactly, Fiona, right? Focus, okay? So if you're here and your camera isn't on, if you're here and you're not taking notes, folks, multitasking is not the way to do it, all right? So rant over, back off my soapbox. Okay, so I wanted to explain to you guys is you are going to get people that are unrealistic. It's part of it, right? You're going to get people asking $23 for a $20 listing, okay? It's part of the job. I had this little thing. In fact, type in the chat, baby, if you realize that like everybody thinks their baby is just a little bit prettier than that. In fact, if you have a puppy or a kitty or a child or a grandchild and they're just the cutest little thing in your world, right? Type baby in the chat, okay? Because I want to open your eyes to something. All right. Because here's the thing, folks. There we go. Dance with me, right? Everybody thinks their baby's just a little bit cuter than their neighbors, okay? That's evolutionary biology 101. That's why we survived as a human race, because our parents took care of us. Well, guess what? People do the same exact things with their properties. What does that mean? They think that their property is just a little bit more valuable than their neighbor's property. Okay, they think that their property, because it belongs to them, is somehow just a little bit worth more than the market. Guys, tell me how many of you have ever experienced this phenomenon. Type market if you think that a lot of people out there think that their property is somehow magically worth more than the market will bear. Oh, I see a whole lot of markets coming on. Exactly. Okay, so what the point I wanted to make to you guys is it's our jobs to be the deliverer of bad news, okay? If you are an order taker, okay, meaning an agent that just says, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, okay, I'll do that, yep. Guys, you're not gonna make a lot of money in this business, okay? The agent that makes good money is the agent that can gently, carefully, lovingly, subtly get their client to see the light, okay? You're gonna get a whole lot of $23 listings, so to speak, right? I'm using that in air quotes. Okay, so here's how you set it up from the beginning, guys. When you go into your listing presentation, you had better know what that property is worth. If you don't, then you deserve whatever happens to you, okay? I'm just gonna be real, shoot you real straight, guys, okay? But if you go in there and you try to pitch it and like they just don't want to take your pricing, they're like, well, I don't want to try this price, okay. Mr. Smith. Okay, now this is a writer downer, guys. Every word that's about to come out of my mouth, this is a writer downer, and I guarantee it. If you use these words when you take your next listing, okay, you're going to have a 5x easier chance of getting it priced right. Listen up very closely. Okay, no problem, Mr. Smith. I understand that you don't want to leave any money on the table. So why don't we do this? We'll go ahead and put it at your pricing. But if we don't get the right kind of offer activity that we're expecting at the 30 to 45 day mark, we can have a conversation around what it'll take to get it sold. Okay. What did I just do there, guys? Type in the chat. What did I just do? Okay. For those of you that are paying attention and not multitasking, what did I just do, guys? What did I just do? Before I even left the listing presentation, what did I do? Yes, Martin. Martin's on top of it. Yes. I left that door of opportunity just a little bit ajar. I just dropped a little seed, okay? It's called pre-seeding, all right? When you drop a little bit, some people call it dropping an egg. Some people call it seeding, okay? Yeah. So exactly. The point of everything is, guys, what you said is now what also did I do? I inferred that by the 30 to 45 day mark, we should be getting offer activity, okay? So what I did was I just left it open because you know what? There's never going to be a time where there's going to be 3 times in your during your time with your clients, right? During the journey of your client relationship that they're going to be the most happiest with you. Okay. 1, when you get it signed. 2, when you get it under contract. And 3, when you get it sold. Okay. So that's the time to ask for anything and everything. Okay. You want to ask for a referral? Ask. Oh, this is a little money dropper. Ask for a referral at the 3 highest emotional points. Number 1, when you get the listing signed. Number 2, when you get the property under contract. And number 3, when you get it closed. Okay. But side note, what you need to realize, folks, okay, is you are inferring that you're supposed to get listing activity in the next 30 to 45 days. Okay. You're telling them, no problem. We're going to try this. But if this doesn't work your way, we're going to do it my way. Okay. Or we're going to have a conversation about it at the very least. Okay. Folks, okay, I want you to write this down. In fact, I want everyone to first type it in the chat, and then I want you to write it down on your notepad right now, okay? Price motivated is not motivated, okay? I can show you a list of agents as long as my arm who said, oh, yeah, they said this and they said that, and they said as long as I can bring them X amount, then they'll definitely sell, and da, 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 da. How many? Type of 1 in the chat if you've ever gotten that. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. You bring me 2.2 million. I'll get it sold. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Guys, let me tell you, there are people sell for their reasons, not yours. And here's the thing. You can bust your butt, absolutely crush it, make a couple hundred phone calls, go out and find someone that wants to magically pay $23 for this property. And you know what the person's going to say? I know I said 2 million, but you know, I'm really feeling like the market's going up. Let's make it 250. Guys, I had an 8-unit multifamily property, had it under contract. It was a turd. All right. I'm not going to make it any 2 ways about it. It was in a bad area of town. Okay. I had it under contract. I think it was like 6 or 7 times over the course of like 15 months. Okay. The owner never wanted to budge on price, never wanted to budge. What happened was we would get it under contract, and then sooner or later, someone would find something about it, or they'd read in the newspaper that there was a high crime area, and it wound up falling out of contract for whatever reason. Do you know what happened after I gave the listing back? The owner raised the price. Does that make any sort of sense whatsoever? Okay. So remember, price is the ultimate equalizer. Okay. Price motivated, though, is not motivated. If you are dealing with price motivated clients, guys, you are going to be waiting a long, long time to cash commission checks. What I want everyone to understand is that you have to find their reason. They're going to do business for your reason, not theirs. Now, what are the biggest things? What are what I call triggering events? Why would somebody sell a property? Okay. Have you guys ever heard of this thing called the silver tsunami? Has anybody heard that term? Type silver in the chat if you've heard silver tsunami. Are you folks aware that the largest transfer of wealth in human history is going to be happening in the next 15 to 20 years? Folks, this is major. Okay, baby boomers are not getting any younger. Anyone born between 1945 and 1965, they're getting to retirement age. They're going to be passing, and guess who owns the properties, folks? Guess who owns the vast majority of commercial real estate? Baby boomers. And they're going to start either handing it down to another generation, or if their kids are not interested, they're going to sell it. Period. End of story. So if you don't have your listing skills up and rocking, shame on you. It's like being here for the gold rush and being like, yeah, I don't want to buy a shovel because it's just too hard to dig for gold. Folks, the most important thing you can do is get this skill set, get this 9-step process in place. Why? Because they're about to unload. Imagine if this was like 1980 and you could buy Apple stock. Okay. If you can get in on the ground floor of the silver tsunami, folks, real estate has created more millionaires than any other industry. Okay. There's a whole lot coming your way. All right. So let's get back to the original story. I go off on tangents because I want to make sure you guys have a little bit of context to the content. Right. There's going to be a lot of properties coming on, and you need to know how to price them properly. And if you don't price them properly the first time, guess what? You get another chance at 30 to 45 days. Okay. And what do you think we are going to have a conversation around? Okay. When the property doesn't sell, what are we going to have a conversation around, guys? What do you think that's going to be? Okay. Boom. Exactly, Fayana. Price drop. Okay. Because there's only one thing that can fix it, and price fixes everything. In fact, write that down, guys. Price fixes everything. Because the most important thing, guys, you get it priced properly. As long as you have the exposure properly, it's out on CoStar and Crexi and MLS and LoopNet. Okay, as long as you have it in the main portals, folks, the only other thing is to get the price dropped in. But if you don't know how to evaluate it properly, okay, then you'll just be sitting there spinning your wheels. Okay. So folks, the best thing you can possibly do is you don't wait to the 30 to 45 day period and then try to have the conversation. What does that make you look like when nothing is working properly? Does it make you look like you're just lazy and didn't want to do your job? Okay. But when you have that conversation day one, what does it make you look like? It makes you look like you have a crystal ball and you've done this before. You've been up and down this road before. Are you guys with me? Okay. Very, very important to understand. Okay. The best time to manage your clients is from day one. You start and you have that conversation. You have that preceded conversation. Okay. And by the time the 30 to 45 day mark comes and they still haven't sold it, okay, Mr. Smith, I know we wanted to try it at your pricing, but unfortunately the market is not responding. So we have one of two choices, right? What we can do is we can get the price adjusted properly, so that we can get the kind of offer activity we want, or I can give you the listing back. It's up to you, whatever you like, right? Guys, what happens when you lean out? Okay. Do people lean into you? Okay. Conversely, what happens when you chase people? They run away. Okay. And here's the thing, remember, okay? If you got 10 or 15 or 20 listings and you lose one, does it matter, right? Because how many dollars is an overpriced listing going to put in your pocket? Okay? How many dollars is a $23 listing going to put in your pocket? The answer is zero, guys. So you have nothing to lose. Remember, when you have nothing to lose, and you don't have anything until you have a commission check in your hand. So you literally have nothing to lose, okay? The name of this game is volume. The name of the game is getting out there, making the dials, doing what you have to so you can get the ultimate goal and making commission checks. Does this make sense, guys? Type a 1 in the chat if you're with me, okay? All right? The reality of this is, if you're not reaching out to the right person, the right time with the right message, if you're not able to recite the right words and get in front of people and then pitch them properly, okay, and then know how to manage listings. It's a very overlooked skill, folks. It's going to be a cold winter. All right, you with me, guys?